Whether it's the first boss of a game, a mini boss, or the big bad in-game villain, a boss is meant to test your skills and abilities of that game at that certain point in the game. And in Ultrakill, there's a boss called V2, and in my opinion, it is a perfect boss fight. Before we talk about him, I want to briefly talk about the very first boss in this game. The Malicious Face is a spider enemy you encounter on the very first level. It doesn't move, it has 2 attacks, and there's not a lot of room in the area to move around, but it's just enough room. What this fight teaches you about Ultrakill is 3 very important things. Movement is key to staying alive, enemies will fuck you up very fast, and 3, this is a hard game. V2 is fought on level 1-4, Claire de Lune. The whole vibe of the level is very peaceful but lonely. There's no enemies, you're just walking around collecting skulls to open a door. But then you see something flash by your screen real fast. It's like it pretty much looks like a red version of you, but you're like, why the fuck would there be a red version of me? V2 is pretty much a Shadow Link fight, and for people that don't know what that is, it's pretty much a mirror match. You're fighting yourself, but this is a completely fair fight. He has all the same guns as you, all the movement abilities that you have. He doesn't have anything more or less than what you have. This fight is a wake-up call because you're sliding around, slamming around, just swagging on all the enemies, murking them. But this is a very harsh reality check because you might learn that you may not be as good as you thought you were, because at one point you were the one that was just fucking everybody up, but now it's changed.
How the turntables
Changed, because unless you're just a god at this game first time playing through, which most people aren't, you're gonna be stuck here for at least a few hours. You're gonna be stuck here for at least a few tries. Your biggest op will become the laughing skull face on the game over screen. This fight is like a threshold, because if you can't beat him, you're probably not gonna beat the other bosses coming up in this game. It's a very challenging fight, and after you try and die over and over and over, you finally get the defeat on him. But there's no big explosion or death scene. He just skedaddles away and leaves you an arm. And after this fight, you're probably feeling so accomplished. You're probably thinking, oh my god, I finally fucking did it. I finally beat that piece of shit robot. Thank god. But then the realization hits you. This is only the second set of levels in this game. What could be up next after V2? Well, surprise, surprise, you fight him again. This time you fight him on 4-4. Claire did something. I don't remember that name, to be honest. Second time you encounter each other, he stands up, cracks his knuckles, and cracks his neck. He's ready to fuck you up. He remembers what you did to him last time. You took his fucking arm. In my opinion, the second encounter is a lot less hard. So the second fight, you're more prepared for what you're getting into. Is it easy? No. But it's not nearly as hard in my opinion. And after you whittle him down, he doesn't get away this time. You fucking chase him down a pyramid. So all the crazy movement tech is gone. It just comes down to, can you hit your shots before he kills you? And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because it's like a Mission Impossible or James Bond scene. But this was fucking cool as shit. Sliding down a pyramid and having a gunfight, that's some crazy shit. And after you beat him, this time there is a death scene. It's very rewarding. He fucking explodes and he gives you another arm. This time it's a whiplash, it's a zipline, it's really cool. What makes a great boss fight? Is it the rewards? Is it the feeling of accomplishment? I think what it comes down to is, A, was the fight memorable? B, was it a good enough challenge where you think you can win, but it's not complete bullshit where it just feels like an utterly hopeless battle? And feeling of accomplishment you get after you fight a boss and beat it. Because if you fight a boss and just get your shit kicked in for 2 hours and you finally beat it, and you go, that was a fucking annoying. It doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like a chore you got done. But beating V2 for the first time feels so good. Because again, you probably spent fucking hours. You probably done looked up a YouTube guide on how to beat him. But once you beat him, you feel so accomplished. And you start to think, it only took me 4.5 hours, so maybe I'm not that dog shit. But then you look up a video and you just see people just murk him in 3 seconds. And what this boss fight teaches you is 3 things. Movement is key. Enemies will kill you very fucking fast in this game. And this game is a very, very, very hard game. It's literally the same exact thing the first fight teaches you. It reinstills this mentality of, you're gonna have to get better as you play because the enemies are gonna get a lot fucking stronger, and you're gonna get better as you play. Time and practice. The thing about this game is though, the difficulty spike is different from everybody. But for like a new first time player that maybe haven't played crazy movement shooters like this, you're gonna have to do a little bit of extra practice, because V2 is like a gatekeeper for the rest of the game. Because again, there are some fucking challenging ass bosses up ahead. And after you beat him and you progress through the story and get a little bit better, you can go and fight him a second time and rematch him, and it is nowhere near as hard. You can see how much you've progressed as a player just by your first time beating B2 and the second time. Not one of the coolest aspects of this fight is one of the coolest weapons in this game is the alternate fire revolver. You pretty much throw a coin up and it hits the coin and it ricochets into an enemy. Normally the enemies cannot parry you in a way. They cannot make your attack hurt you. But if you throw a coin up and you're not quick enough to hit it, B2 will steal that shit from you, and it does not feel good to have your own coins used against you. But it's also vice versa. If he throws his coins up and you're faster than he is, you can snipe his coins and use them against him. It is a completely fair fight. It might not feel like it, but this fight is a perfect boss fight, and it is fair. That's why it's such a great boss fight. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, and if you didn't, it happens. Hope you have a good day. Till next time.